Hi. There, you can see. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Jane. Yeah, absolutely fine, Jane. It was lovely to meet you. It was really lovely. We were all having a mother's meeting around the table. The non-existent table. We were planning for what's ahead. Right, I'm putting these down because I'm going to be using the sprays to start off with. And we're just going to, I think we'll work on 3 and see how far we get. I've got 3. I'll use mixed media paper when I'm making backgrounds and things, or a watercolour. And that's because you can really go to town on it. But if you haven't got that, you can actually just, you can get a gesso that you just paint your ordinary, it's called gesso. It's like a, what's the word? Primer. If I haven't got watercolour paper or mixed media paper, I usually gesso the paper first as well. But watercolour does react different on gesso to what it does, say, on your ordinary watercolour paper. Hi, Elizabeth from Salt Lake City. Oh, lovely. What's the weather like there? Actually, to start off with, what I'll do is I'm going to use the gesso. I'm just going to pop it here. And we're going to create a resist, I think. I'll grab one of my stencils. I'm going to grab a different stencil because I want to keep the new stuff clean for Friday. Oh, what I'll do, I'll pick this one because it'll match in perfect and it's already dirty. I'm trying to keep very, very, very tidy. It's more so I don't have to clean it up. It'll wipe off the mat, no problem. The mat's been filthy. Absolutely filthy today. So all I'm doing is I'm putting the gesso through the stencil. I'm not going to be too careful about it. There you go. You can see some of the colour coming off of the watercolours. But that's absolutely fine. It's also a good idea why you should clean your stencils. I only ever really religiously clean stencils when I use, what's the word? When I use pastes and things. That's because it can dry on and block up the little holes and things on your stencil. I will have clean stencils. Look at these. I've purposely not put paste and things through them so they don't look a mess. I've just used water reactive inks. Once the show's over, mind, I'll be crackle pasting all sorts of them because I've got so many ideas. But look, even my stamps are all clean. Been very good, very good. I don't know how long it'll last. Normally I at least go through a couple of sets of stamps. Right, I'm just going to dry this off quickly. So if you've got earphones in, brace yourself. 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be the gesso. I'm not bothered about the colour because we can work those colours back over the top. What I have got though is I've got some Pearly Winks Intense inks, and I've got the Is Ink spray inks, the set after ones. I've got the Pretty Colour Inside ink pads, and I've got some watercolours. And I do have some acrylic markers, like your Posca pens. And this is what we are doing. Oh, Jane, I forgot you're not on Facebook. You did tell us. I have new stuff out. Would you like to see? I've everything. Oh, I think everything might be in my bag. Hold on. See if I can find. I'll show you these. So this is actually, I'll do me a little bit. So anybody who's just joining us for the first time, this is for later on, or if anybody's new there. My name is Emma Blake. Thirsty Brush is my baby. Even it doesn't belong to me. I sort of designed for it. I demonstrate for it. It's mine. It's mine as far as I'm concerned. I just don't have to do the paperwork side of it. I've been doing craft TV for nearly 4 years now, but I've been crafting all of my life. You can find me on Facebook. I've got a page called Emma's Happy Place and a group called Emma's Happy Place Arts and Crafts. If you haven't been in there, the release that was 2 weeks ago, I think now. Perfectly Imperfect. I did put some free papers as a PDF in there, so you can still go in and download them. My style is a little bit quirky. I like colour, a lot of colour, and I think they're guaranteed to make you smile, really, no matter what you're doing with them, no matter what your style, what colours you use, they are quite quirky. And this collection is called the Wild Flowers. And basically we've got Daisy and Castor, which is the two characters, which came from, you can remember the grass heads as a kid? And they're like made out of pair tights and used to grow the grass out, the hay. And then I was in a DIY shop and I came across plant pots and things, and they've made people out of them. And this is kind of where this came from. And people's gardens and things. So I was out for walks with my son, and so on and so forth. So we have Daisy and Castor, Bryony and Blossom. We've got little mushrooms and flowers and things, loads and loads to go on. We have the word sprays. Says birthday wishes, dream big, smile, strong, brave and beautiful. So ideal for cards, ideal for your art journaling, ideal for frames, things like that. And they're just nice. You can put them in the background so they don't you can't really see the words, they are just in the background. And then we have flowery, because it's all flowery and it's cool. And then we have leafy, which is a stencil mask. And we have abundant lush, because basically it's whatever you want it to be. This can be water, it could be used for the sea, it's leaves, it's flowers. It's just lovely. There we go. So all I've done on this, Jane, I'm on at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. tomorrow. Friday, yeah, the 28th on Create and Craft. Right. I'm very excited. I've got loads of stuff in my bag and I've had to take it back out. No, so on and so forth. I'm going to use these ink tints. Now, I can't remember if they're water reactive, but I'm going to use the blue to start off because I want to show you what happens with the gesso. So we're going over this because these are water reactive and I do know about them. So all I'm going to do is spray a little bit on. It's not a massive thing you see straight away, but you'll see the gesso resisting a little bit. This one, there, up here. The gesso resists a bit so you can see it coming through, which will give your work an extra layer of something to look at. And again, the background papers don't have to be super duper clean and tidy and perfect. These are what you build up on. So I'm just going to get some of the water off so it dries a bit quicker, and I'm going to pop this one to one side. We are going to work on 3 tonight, I think. And we'll see how far we get. I'm going to put that to one side so it doesn't go all over, hopefully. I'll pop it. Where can I pop it? I'll pop it there. I'm going to bring another one in. And basically the idea behind this is just get some colour down to start off with. But this, you can actually leave white space. And if you've got a stamps and stencils and dies, the world is your oyster. Get some paper, get some inks, even just watercolours. You can do so many things with just watercolours. But I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to go back in with the yellow for this one, because I want them to work with the papers and things I've got, but I'm going to wet the paper first. In your spray bottles, if you use cooled boiled water out of the kettle, it stops your water brushes and things, and your bottles don't smell feisty. With this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it down, and then I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to lift the colour off. And we're going to go down again. Now you probably won't be able to see this totally great. It's a shadow more than anything. But it's another way to get another effect. But what I'm then going to do is I'm going to pop it down. And I'm going to take the blue again, because this will go green in places. And just slightly spray it. And then you get another background. And once you've got this, turn it over and use it like a stamp as well. It looks really cool. Don't waste your ink. Get it all down. And again, if you don't like to get messy and you don't like sprays and things like that, just use your inks on a brush So that is another one started. That's the background. You can see where I've gone. You can see the different shadows and shades. It's such a cool sense that I know they're mine. So, but I do love them. So how is everybody? Has everybody had a nice week so far? Everybody is excited as me for tomorrow. And then the last one, I'm going to come in with more water again because I like it to blend. And I'm going to go in with Intense Pink. But this time I'm just going to squirt it like up the middle. And then plenty of water so it pulls out. And you're going to get a gradient of ink, but some white space as well. So you don't have to actually fill it all in. See that how it's quite a bit of water down there. I'm going to bring the heat tool in again and go from there. Feeling fabulous, it may have something to do with. I think that could be helping. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get a good start on a background. And when you're working with your papers and things, there's some lovely papers out there. But it is nice to play and experiment with your own. If you don't like getting inky, then it's not a problem. There's loads of ink. We've probably all got loads of papers. I have hundreds of papers. Actually, I'll show you what else is cool with the water. Dropping colour into it, and if it's still wet, it will move. So take the lid off your inks and things and just make dots. Just like that. It looks really cool. So it's just something else you can do. And like I say, once you've got stamps and stencils, you've got a whole array of tools, and there's no other way of hours of fun. I can't even get my words out. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just excited. I'm going to turn this on now. You see how when you've got the water, how it moves as well. You can push it about, chase the water drop, and shape it to how you want it. But then you can take it a step further, and you can make all your memory books and things like that out of your own backing papers. And it's just nice, especially if you've got creative blocks, just to get your papers and your inks out and just go for it. Yes, the backgrounds are made with the Perfectly Imperfect. There's 4 backgrounds there. They're the same. So there's 2 different ones, but 4 different versions of it. So you get different colours and things. But what I did was I left it so you can add more of your own colour if you want. All you do is save the PDF and then press print. There we are. I'm going to say that there is dry enough and turn it over and get the rest of the water off because I'm impatient. There. And that comes off and you can see where it's ran and everything. Obviously, if you want a more organic look to it, just let them dry on their own. I'm going to go back in still too wet, but not take 2 minutes now. Actually, I'll bring these in and show you where we're getting up to as well. So these are starting to dry. So straight away, you've got some lovely background papers. You can die cut with them. You can obviously chop them down. You can stamp your flowers on them. Like this one, you can stamp your flowers onto them and they've already coloured. They're already coloured for you. And then I'll bring this one in the first one. You can see the resist off the gesso on this one much, much better now. And that's another good thing when you're making your own papers and experimenting. You can literally see everything has been handmade. Hi, Terry. Have you had a lovely time? Well, this is the only bit with the papers and things. If you want to let them dry organically, this bit your best bet's to walk away for a couple of hours. But that's the wonderful thing about having the heat tool. So these papers that I made tonight might make an appearance on the telly tomorrow. mean? Honestly, show them the video and then have fun. I'm going to use the pink one for now, actually, and I'm going to bring in my stamps and stencils. This one to start off with, and I am going to take the pink magenta from here, and I'm going to see if I can find... I'll have to use a door because I've packed me little brushes. Those little brushes, the Stamps by Me little brushes, if you haven't got them in your life, mind, you need them. They are fabulous. And then I'm just going to bring it in, the colours. So I'm thinking this one I'm going to leave quite plain and just have the stencil backgrounds on it. So move your stencils around. Don't just think it's got to be in front of you as it is. You can move them around, make them work for you. Find a spot that you like. Like this one here, it looks like a spray or a flower. And then if you go in, especially with the new brushes from Stamps by Me, they are very, very, very good for precision inking. That one. Turn your stencils over as well because double-sided. There's no right or wrong way. And it's just about fun. It makes me very, very happy. And there's nothing better than having ink on your fingers that you kind of get off. And you've got to wash your hair or clean the bathroom to get it off. This stencil is out tomorrow as well, Jane. And it is called Abundant Lush, I think. I did look up words, the names of the people are actually words that mean, out of the thesaurus, like Bryony, that's from a wood, I think, and I can't remember the other names. It was 2 seconds ago that I looked at it. But they're all words that are to do with wildflowers and things. There we go. And that is the first paper, really. You can go back in and add white splashes and things, but I'm going to let it dry for a little while and move on to the next one. Now, I did hear, I don't know exactly till I get there, but I did hear there was going to be a bundle with an amazing price on it. But I think it might be a case of getting in fast. I don't know. Now, I'm going to swap this out. And I'm going to go in with the green from this because it's such a lovely green. And it's actually called Hedgerow. So you know it's going to be a lovely green colour. Find another doorbell. I'm going to go in with this. I don't want it all. I'm not too bothered about it being all over the place. And it looks like you've took a lot more time than you actually have to make them. Just by thinking about where you're placing things. Keeping things going vertically and diagonally is easier on the eye. The rule of 3, see, I've done that corner and that corner. Now that me doesn't bother us, but on the eye, the rule of 3 is it's easier on the eye. So I would put an extra little bit there and your eye doesn't search for another one. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like I need to put some more across here though. Make it a bit bigger. There. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, I don't know what it is. Florists and things do it. I don't know why. Why? I just don't know why, but it does. The rule of 3. And keeping things straight and straight, like that way or that way as well, is easier on the eye. When you start just randomly stamping and things, it kind of like your eyes start searching for some sort of what's the word, symmetry, right, some sort of pattern. So I'm taking the flowery one and this stamp is in it and it's really cool. And there were lollipops on a stick when I first drew them, so there still can be lollipops on a stick, but then I made the thingies wiggly. I'm going with orange, I think. And again, it's watercolour I've used. Obviously the Intense ink isn't really water reactive, I found, unless you do it straight away. Yeah, it's a lot of things, but do it subconsciously, the rule of 3. Another one here. And I mean, this already, it's starting to look like come to life. So, I mean, what you could do is you build up a background and have it so all you have to do is stick some flowers on, or stamp and cut out one of the people, or even other flowers. Use the collection with other things that you've got. This collection here is screaming out for the other Thirsty Brush collections, even the girls. You can even have these as dangly things coming down from the top. And it won't matter because you obviously want to cut the papers down unless you want a A4 plus size card, which then go for it, knock yourself out. But normally we cut papers down. So don't worry too much. If there's a bit on the paper that you've done that you absolutely hate, leave it. Cut it off, and chances are once it's cut down, it will not look as bad as what you think it is. I'm going to take some flowers now. I've only got this big block, and really need to sort out a little block for when I'm messing about like this. I'm just taking versifying clay, and all I'm going to do is just stamp them at random. Now you can colour these in if you want to, or you can just leave them as is. All I'm going to do is sort of splash some random colour on, so it doesn't look like they've been coloured properly or anything. And they're like little works of art, and really without even knowing it here, I've already got the sky and the grass, so it's already setting a scene for whatever you want it to be. So I think subconsciously we'll do things. So I think a little person there would be absolutely fabulous. And they're really, really, really easy shapes to cut out as well. Hi, Shaz. I hope you're feeling better. Have you still got the lurgy? And that one there. I think I want to call it a day for the flowers on that one, because I do quite like this side as a background that I can build onto. And I did say I have some, they're like a Posca pen, but they're not a Posca pen. And I haven't got too many colours, I've just picked a few out. But before that, I'm going to grab the watercolours. My brush. Where's my brush? There it is. And I think I will take the bright orange. And I'm just going to slap it in the middle. Don't overwork your colours, because when you've got water reactive colours underneath like that, watch, you'll get mud. You see how it goes brown? Don't overwork the colours, just slap it on and move on, because you can always go back over with a different medium that won't move the watercolour as such. So your acrylic paint pens. And so, you're still rough. It's no fun, is it? Is your grandbaby here yet? I haven't seen a post. I'm going to stick with the orange for the middle. And I can turn the dots white if I want. And turn them pink, red, whatever you want. And then I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to go with red. And this time, I'm not bothered if I go outside the lines. If I miss a bit, we just want to keep it sort of loose. So I know they're supposed to be coloured, but doesn't really matter. It is a background, and sometimes backgrounds being not perfect work a real treat. And you'll see, as soon as I cut it down, you'll see when I'm using it, you'll see once they cut down, you'll see the difference in just how cool they look. Give yourself a little bit of freedom to just slap things on and not overthink. I mean, all I'm doing is a wiggle. And when you do it at home, you'll think, oh, it doesn't look the same. It will look the same. It's just because we're really hard on ourselves, religiously, as crafters. I don't know what that's all about. Also, limit yourself on colours as well with backgrounds. I mean, I've used the yellow and the blue, which makes the green. And then I've used a pink and a red and an orange. So it's all really kind of the same colour scheme. mix colours that you know will work well together. See, if you used a blue and a pink, you would get your purple in the middle as well. It just helps out that little bit when it comes to doing anything. There we go. I like that. Oh, he? I can't remember. Baby will be here soon. So I'm going to call that done for the time being. I'll probably come back and add more with the pens over the top, but I'm going to let it dry. And then I'm going to go back to this one. And this time, what I'm thinking is... Oh, this is the last one, isn't it really? We'll have to go... We'll whizzing through them here. And this time, I'm thinking we'll have some words on. So these word sprays are just... They're so cute. I'm going to have Dream Big. Just because I quite like the leaves on it. But this time, I'm not bothered about the leaves showing up. I'm going to use a versifying clay. That's marvellous. I kind of wish I'd left mine to be a surprise. But at the same time, I'm not good at waiting for anything. Oh, I've got a Kermit feather on the bottom of my ink. And then, I'm not going to do it all over. But I'm sticking with the greens and the yellows again. Just because, as I move down as well, I'm going to get further and further apart. So the gap gets bigger, and then we can add something else in. Just like this. You can use different words if you want, but again, I'm keeping them all sort of going the same way. And then when you look at it, it's a lot easier on the eye. And I think a lot of the time is that's why we get the effect of, well, mine doesn't look like that, such and such as, and mine doesn't look. I've done it before, and you learn as you go, but practicing and seeing what works is just like decorating your own home, really. I know I keep saying it's just like decorating at home, it's this, that and the other, but it is true, I promise. Cross me heart. And then these ones here, they've got some lovely like curly ones. I'll show you. And I think it's going to have to be the black. Let's go for a completely different. Do you like the word sprays, Kelly? These ones here, they're just unbelievably cute. So they make lovely borders and things. And flowers that follow. And that is the great thing about having the see-through stamps. That you can do this. There we go. And I tell you what, I've been very busy this week. My demos are on point for the shows. I have them in envelopes and everything. It could also go wrong, mind, because we know what I'm like. But they're in envelopes. I've made a big effort to try and keep tidy. And I'm trying because I know I drive people crazy when I'm all over the place. So I am trying. We've got these ones as well, some little long ones. We could have these hanging from the words as well. You know where there's a bigger gap? I'm going to go back to the green for that. And we can have them hanging down. But that's another thing, even though this here is really long, if you keep a tissue next to you, you can see exactly where you're inking. So I've inked from there down. If you go over, just take it off with a tissue. It's not going to spoil anything. And it's like, it's a whole new stamp. Look. It's so cool. Stamps are like the best thing ever invented for us crafters, mind. The best. I hope there's a good buy the show price. I think so. I think there will be. I have been told that this is what's happening because there's 4 A5 stamps and 2 stencils, so it's not a huge show. I have got the Christmas stuff back in. That has appeared into the warehouse, so I've got some of them with us. Tony did promise we could bring it back, so here it is. So I know there's a Christmas bundle on there as well. I've had the Christmas things out. Oh, honestly. Did you see the shrink plastic phone case I made? Watch the show tomorrow and you'll see the shrink plastic phone case I've made. It's made with a like a silicone glue, and I'm not biased, but I'm pretty pleased with it. We've got these ones here. There's loads of foliage and things going on around it. I am going to go back to black again. And black. I might go blue. I'm going to go blue. And still sticking in with the theme of the blues, yellows and greens. I'm going to use the blue, but watch this one on the corner. Now these, I know I've got them and they're quite quirky and quite unusual and things, but these as vintage and in pastel colours would be absolutely divine. I mean, look at the leaves. They are smashing, if I do say so myself. So these ones here could have them just creeping in everywhere and anyway. And you're giving yourself another way of using them. Coming down the edge, you could have them coming down the edge of a card. You can double print with them. Like, so you're doing your ghost print as well, and that still looks cool. And just keep going with the papers. And I'm going to be here all night. I've already ironed my stuff for tomorrow, so that's good, because I don't think I'm going to move very much. Where's the stamp that this come from now? Oh, there. So this one, flowery, I love the people. I love the daisy with the hat on, with the daisy hat on. I love the word space. I'm very, very proud of this. It's been so long in the making, all the way through summer. Now I'm going to go back again. I know we're jumping about to this one, and I have got a white marker pen. This is an acrylic pen. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but adding dots, I should have had them going from bigger to smaller, but you know, we'll start with big and go to smaller because we can, because we are designing them ourselves. And this is what will make them pop and really come to life. You can Zentangle in them, you can draw in around your stencils, you can go wild, honestly. Draw around your stencils and you will see a completely different use for them. I've got these ones. Just little dots. It's not much. It's not anything nobody else that you can't do. But this is mixed media as well. It isn't full on mixed media with everything in the world on it. It is watercolours, inks, I think pigment inks, dye inks. Then you've got your acrylic Posca pen. If you've got your confetti inks, that'll do for this as well, I think. Just on a tiny little brush, or even mix it up so it's like a thick paste in your palette and use the back of a paintbrush to put it on, because it is a type of opaque watercolour, which is just awesome. Once you've got an opaque white watercolour, it opens up so many different doors for you to play with and different techniques. But you've lost us. I'm in the world of dots. Yeah, sorry. I will stop and move on. I can't. I'll have to do them all. Ah! Anybody else get like this? Once you start, you have to finish? Just me? This obsessive? But how cool do they look? Just adding in the little dots. Thank you. I'm just not ready for summer to end. I'm really not. I'm going to go back in with this one. So we've made three complete... Oh, this is one I did beforehand. This is with a different medium. It's acrylic paints, but we'll get there eventually. I'm going to come back to this one. And this time, I'm going to add nothing fancy, just a line so it carves around the flowers. And that's your white highlight to it. And again, if you're batch making them, you can keep the papers all the same, using the same colours and everything, so nothing, it all mixes and matches perfect. I will have my own papers that I've designed come out at some point, but in the meantime, practice making your own as well. But if you don't like to get inky, we are sort of working towards that, so watch this space. And again, the dots in the middle, adding your white pen, because if you're not confident with a paintbrush and things, your pen is your best friend. I've done a ceramic pot with them, and I coloured them all in with a pigment pen, like a pigment paint pen. You will see that tomorrow on the show. I've made the longest concertina book. I've had a lovely time. This time I'm going to go in with some blue. Oh, there, we'll get some dots on it as well. Why not? And I'm going to call that one done as well. Once you cut it down though, I'm going to grab another one, the red one, when I'm finished, to show exactly what I mean. I've got this green here which hasn't even been activated yet. Do you think you're going to give it a go? I absolutely 100% think you should give it a go. I really do, because it's not something that you can't do. We're all ink on the cards, we're all ink through stencils and things, and it just, like I say, it just opens your stash to even more possibilities. See this one? I think this one's going to be a flower. I'm not going to colour them in. This one, this is a darker green. If it ever works, come on. Just go in. Again, you don't have to have it perfect. Just a couple of lines just to show that they're filled in. If you don't want to do that, you absolutely do not have to. This is just me playing. And again, even if it goes completely wrong, it's just a bit of paper. Move on and try again. Don't give up. If you give up trying to learn to talk or walk, you wouldn't be doing anything right now. And when you were a kid, we've got to learn everything from scratch. And the same as anything, art is a muscle memory. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Cooking. I don't think anybody was just born able to cook. And we'll have these ones. Again, I'm using the darker green, and I'm not colouring them properly. I'm just adding lines of colour. And you're getting your natural shadow or your highlight that's shining through from the papers. Just like that. I think I am going to have to go in with pink on these. I do like this. I do like these. Now these, can you imagine these little ones here, 3 in a row on a little notelet, on thank you cards. There could be little invitations. Even if it's just, we're having an indoor barbecue because it's freezing outside because winter. So I'll cook you a steak in the frying pan. Invite your friend round. Little invitation. Yeah, that's how I actually met Michael Grumpy. I invited him. My friend liked him. This was 17, 18 years ago. I was neighbours with him. And my friend liked him. And maybe me. It was raining, so I just invited him round for an indoor barbecue. Now, this is where you can get really creative. That's where the indoor barbecue thing came from. And you can add little dots and things. That was totally off piece, wasn't it? Just a little background to me. You can add stitching lines. Again, if you don't like that, you do not have to. You could do it in green, so it totally keeps in with the colour theme. Just little lines, not overthinking it. Keeping them going the same way though. Vertical and not diagonal. What's the other one? Horizontal. They do not have to be straight at all. Just keep going. So we've made 3 papers in not so much. I keep picking the wrong one up. Where's this? There. 3 different papers, 3 totally different papers, which all from the same collection. It will work with so many different things. You could have done it in cream, you could have done it in beige, you could have done it in brown, absolutely anything. And you get these, but watch when you cut them down. I'm going to do this one actually because I think this one's the busiest. And I think this was the kind of one that you look at and you go, oh, I don't know. Let's see, we're making a 4x4, 5x5, we will, plenty of space, 5x5 card. So I'm going to cut it down, and I want this bit on the card so you can see exactly where it is. And then you cut it down, and it just looks like a background now. And then I've already put all my bits in the bag. Let's see if I can find some of the bits. As this really was just supposed to be backing papers, but of course, off I go. I can't find them. Oh, hang on, I've got a heart. Well, what we could do is we could then build this up. You've already got Dream Big there and Dream Big there, so we'll work on the middle bit being sort of your focal point. You can add your heart in and then just add something little in there, and you've got a background mounted onto black, which will make it totally pop. Grab a black bit of paper. Oh, I nearly dropped the stamps there. Whew. There you go, mounted onto black. Totally different, unique to you because you've designed it, bit of work, and then you just have one of those flowers there, and that's it. You've got a card. Absolutely, you've had a lovely time playing Getting Inky. You've had a marvellous time designing your own papers. Imagine a memory book all done with your own artwork, and then when somebody says, did you do that? You can go, yes. But it only took us half an hour because I didn't overthink it and I didn't panic about it. I just played. And there you go. So that's it. I have talked a lot at you. Sorry. 40 minutes of me waffling at you. I've had a lovely time anyway. I'm going to go and pack my bag and wash my hair because I look like I've been dragged through a hedge. But I will see you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Creating Craft. And just come say hi, send your emails in. Even if they don't get read out, come back at 7. I think I've got Yanis at 7 as well. So that should be a laugh. Me and Yanis always have a lovely time together. And I'm not sure who I've got at 3. But anyway, thank you so much for keeping us company. I've had a lovely time. I'm rather overexcited. I'll not sleep a wink. But it's a good job I'm up early tomorrow, actually. So thank you very much. And I will see you all tomorrow, but then again on Tuesday at 8 p.m. on the Thirsty Brush Facebook page. And Susan, I'll make more next time, I promise. I've got lots of things planned for YouTube. Loads of stuff planned, I promise. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.